Hello, friends. My name is David White, and you're listening to the Mistconceptions podcast.
I cannot believe this is happening.
I cannot believe this Esther Black is standing across from me in my own place of work.
I mean, we had a solid plan, and now it's being blown out of the water.
Why do they never talk to me about their plans? Why do they go off and do things? They cannot do anything without me.
We had a plan, and it just got blown out of the water.
Why do they always plan without me? Why do they not know that they cannot disinclude me from planning? It never works.
I mean, I used the tabs. It's clear that I'm the real Leslie Williams.
She can't even say my name. She said Lely. Who is Lely?
Previously on Misconceptions, the crew was the most wanted people in the city. They had gone their separate ways to lay low, pursue their own personal threads, but the wedding of Faye Carver to Woodard Lockley drew them all back together, even Esther, who was previously presumed dead. The crew decided that their investigation into the city was not yet complete. They needed to find out what was going on, maybe even to save the city, and in order to do that, they had to get to Pip Hamill, aka the Music Man, aka the current duly elected mayor of the city. Faye revealed that over the past 3 months, she had been building up a persona of Leslie Williams and had earned a job as the director of Parks and Recreation, and she had an office in the city, and maybe they could use that to investigate Pip Hamill, but she didn't have time for that because she was going on her honeymoon. So Bill, Ren, and Esther went to Esther's hideout and worked with Javi to come up with a plan to infiltrate City Hall, get the information they needed, and to get out. After spending all night coming up with a plan, they got to City Hall, they enacted their plan, and everything went wrong. Bill snuck in to a roof access and got caught by a janitorial employee. Ren walked through the metal detectors, forgetting the metal in his head, set off an alarm, and he was immediately recognized, and he had to escape to avoid getting shot. And Esther walked in, and she was frisked after she had disguised herself as Leslie Williams. And after being frisked, she walked out to find the real Leslie Williams, Faye Carver, walking through the security check, coming face to face, and the security guard standing in between them. And that is where we pick it up, with the security guard looking from one Leslie Williams to the other, and then back again. I don't understand what's going on here.
Oh, Alex, you remember me, the real Leslie Williams. I don't know who this imposter is, but it's me. I have my badge here. You can have it right now.
He reaches out and grabs it.
Does he still have my badge in his hand?
No, he does not, but you have your badge.
Clearly, I'm the real Leslie Williams. And I hand him the badge.
He reaches out with his other hand and takes that badge. And he looks at the two badges.
When Esther starts talking, you see Faye's face look at her like, what accent are you using?
And Esther looks at her with big eyes like, just keep it on the DL, okay?
So the security guard is looking back and forth between the two identity cards. I'm gonna need the both of you, Miss Williams, to come.
I don't have time for this, and I take it out of his hand and I walk up the stairs.
No, ma'am, you're not. And he is gonna try to grab you.
I refuse to be grabbed.
Okay. So, I think this would be a go toe-to-toe.
I am going to use... Can I use my Aegis armor?
Sure. Do you want to manifest that in the middle of this public lobby?
Not really. I'm just trying to use another tag. So... I guess, can I use life lessons?
How would you use it?
Because I've been taught how to, like, maneuver out of tough situations.
Don't you have Daddy's Fighter?
Yeah, I was going to try to use both of them.
I think
But you want me
Daddy's
to use
Fighter
Daddy's
would
Fighter.
apply more
Okay.
to it.
So I have one tag. 6.
A 6. So he's going to grab you.
Okay.
You take a subdued 2 status as he tackles you to the ground and starts wrenching your hands up behind your back and tries to reach for his handcuffs. Faye, what are you doing?
I am just standing there with her hands kind of by her side, just watching everything that's happening, being very calm, focused on the situation.
The security guard is grunting. Ma'am, I'm gonna have to bring you down to the office to sort this out. Please stop fighting, ma'am.
I'm gonna need you to let me go so I can go to work.
No, ma'am, not until we get this all sorted out. Do you want to try to escape?
Yes, sometime.
Okay. I definitely think this would be a go toe-to-toe.
Is it a -2 because I'm subdued?
It would be a -2 because you're subdued. So do you have... Yeah...
No, it's
Daddy's
okay.
Fighter. I think if you wanted to, you could make a case for life lessons.
I've already used life lessons in this too, though.
Yeah, but not this episode.
That's fair. I mean, life lessons in just that I know maneuvers and stuff, but that really is Daddy's Fighter, so I don't have a good case for it.
Okay. You can roll with a -2.
9.
A 9? Okay, so on a 7 through 9, you get to choose one. You achieve your goal. You get them good, giving your opponent a status with tier equals power, or you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you. Well, maybe you were trying to roll a change the game, because that one has the ability to remove statuses.
I guess so. I'm wanting to not be subdued so I can get away.
Okay, so you have 1 juice.
So I remove 1.
Mm-hmm. So now you have a subdued 1 status.
Mm-hmm.
Faye, are you still standing there?
Yes, I am.
Man, please stop resisting. Could I get some help over here? And the other security guard on this side of the fence starts making his way towards you. The other 2 security guards on the other side of the detector have their hands on their weapons. And
Look, Alec, this really isn't necessary. I'll invite you to the next office party.
Ma'am, you're going to have to come with me to the guard room and we are going to get this sorted out.
Well, Fake Leslie, what do you think?
Oh, dearie. Why don't you lead us to the guard room?
I'll lead you to the guard room.
Great. Then show us the way.
I stomp off to the guard room because I know where that's at.
Yep. You can't really stomp off because he is putting you in handcuffs. You take a cuffed 2 status, and then they pick you up. They start leading you off, and Faye, you follow?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Who do we want to go to, Ren or Bill?
Okay. So what room am I in, David?
Yeah. So you are in it just looks like a dark office room. Can't really see any great details. There is some light coming through the blinds, and there's a nice noir effect on the wall as like the streaks of light go across the wall, illuminating you just briefly. But it just looks like a city office building or a city office room.
All right. So, excuse me. I'm going to grab the trash that's in the trash cans, and I'm going to tie it up, and I'm going to peek into the hallway.
Okay, you peek into the hallway. You hear some distant shouting coming from one end of the hallway, but you do not see that janitor who accosted you coming down the stairwell.
All right. Do I have a wig?
You do not.
Oh, is it in the hallway there? Because that's where it would have dropped, right?
it is not there anymore.
What the heck? Okay, well,
But are the bobby pins still in his hair?
You do find the bobby pins on the ground where the wig was.
okay. All right, well, I'm gonna walk down the hallway with the trash bag like in front of my face, almost like hugging the bag weirdly.
Okay.
As a kind of a face mask.
Okay. And where are you going? Are you going towards the sound or away from it?
I'm heading towards the sound.
Okay. You walk towards the sound and you kind of walk down this hallway that opens up into the lobby area, and you see that security checkpoint, and you see a big kerfuffle going on, and you see Esther as Leslie Williams being cuffed and led off by 2 security guards, who are in turn followed by Leslie Williams, played by Faye, and they walk down an adjacent hallway away from you and out of sight. And there's a large group of people in the lobby already having been checked in, and there's a large group of people on the other side of the security checkpoint, just kind of like looking around and wondering what the heck is going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna go towards where they're taking them.
Nobody really notices a janitorial worker. Even though you do not have your wig, you kind of slip into that alleyway. Or not alleyway, hallway, following after the 2 Leslies and 2 security guards. Do we want to cut to Rin? Where did Rin run to?
Rin ran to like a local the park across the street and pulled out his laptop and was attempting to communicate to the gang what had happened.
Okay, so like a iMessage kind of situation, sending a text message that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you send a text. What does the text say?
It just says, "Guys, I got made. I can't come back. You're on your own."
Okay. You send that text. We cut back to the inside of the guard room. It is not necessarily like a police interrogation chamber, but it's very similar to it. There is a steel table. There are some metal folding chairs. Esther, you are sitting down in one of the chairs, and they have your hands cuffed to a little link on the table. And there is one guard inside, and there's one guard outside. Real fake Leslie Williams, where do you find yourself?
Is that me?
Yeah, so you're the real fake Leslie Williams. Esther is the fake Leslie Williams.
Okay.
FF.
Real fake Leslie Williams is standing outside the guard room. Maybe there's a chair outside that she like sits down in.
Sure, there's some chairs outside the guard room, and one of them instructs you, "Please sit down, Miss Williams. We're going to get this all sorted out. The head of security is on his way."
Yes, will do, sir. And you see that she's sitting like angled, and she's got her legs crossed.
Very prim,
and
very
she's,
proper.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very proper.
Fake Leslie Williams, roll your eyes.
You can't see me.
Well, you can't see. She's on the outside.
They didn't have her sit down before I was taken in.
No, they walked you in first and then told her to sit down.
I'm rolling my eyes. I sense that I need to roll my eyes.
Esther does have a supernatural eye-rolling sensing ability. So...
That needs to be a tag.
It's the surface thoughts that she's reading.
Sense surface thoughts, yeah.
I am going to say that that Faye thinks that Esther has some knowledge. She's not sure what, but she has some knowledge into people's brains. And so Faye, throughout this entire walking to the guard room and then Esther sitting in the guard room, is just running through her head. Tell them it was a prank, I'll get you out. Tell them it was a prank, I'll get you out.
So Esther sitting on the other side of the door in the guard room with the guard glowering at you with like his thumbs tucked into his big brass belt buckle underneath his little bitty pot belly. What do you do?
I sit very quietly. I haven't been quiet recently, but I'm quiet now.
Mm-hmm.
Very contemplative.
You mean contemplative?
No, contemplative. And I let out a sigh. I'm trying to channel my inner Faye. And at that moment, I turn my ring around
Okay.
to the inside of my hand.
Okay.
I want to sense surface thoughts.
Okay. So in the past, you have been able to kind of just sense the surface thoughts and get what you wanted. Like you scanned people's brains and got like a one-word description of how they were.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe this is in a highly populated area.
Mm-hmm.
There are the 2 guards with you. There's Leslie outside, or Faye outside.
Mm-hmm.
There are multiple people in this building. You do have a weakness tag of Lost in a Sea of Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to activate that and say like something goes wrong with how you get her message, or do you just want to hear her message? So do you want to activate it and get an attention, or just let it happen?
No, I just want to kind of hear her message.
Okay. So describe for us how this looks.
So I'm sitting there, I'm handcuffed, but I can still move my hands, obviously. And I've casually been spinning the ring, and I stop with the owl inside of my palm. I've let out this deep sigh, and I shut my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep like breathing deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen very closely for my old friend's voice.
And does she hear her old friend's voice?
Just tell them it was a prank. I'll get you out. Just tell them it was a prank. I'll get you out.
She grins and opens her eyes. We got you, Alec.
He looks at you. What?
You love jokes. We had to play a joke on you.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, you know what I mean.
I really don't. But
I'm laughing very loudly right now.
Okay, so sure, let's transition outside through the door. Faye, you hear Esther uncharacteristically laughing. It's like hearing Batman laugh. It's not natural. And Bill, you also arrive to this noise.
Faye sees Bill and like frantically shakes her head.
Bill, what did you do? And she starts shaking her head.
Like, look at her like, what? I mean, is there a way for me to turn left or right, or is it like a hallway that ends at this door?
Let's say there's a janitorial closet right there.
I hate you. I'm gonna take my trash bag and walk into the janitorial closet.
Okay, you can kind of step in there.
Yeah.
That guard suddenly turns around hearing you stand up and kind of reaches for his gun, and then you...
Oh, John, this was all just a joke. You see, that's my sister in there, and we were just joking around. We have a good old time playing pranks and stuff.
Who? You and... He points over his shoulder. Her?
Yeah, she's my sister, and she's just so funny. And so we were just doing this together. She thought it would be funny. We didn't think it'd go this far.
You... Well, I mean, you do kind of look alike.
We do. People tell us we're twins all the time.
Roll a sneak around.
Okay.
What did you want to say? Ah, fuck.
Yes.
You have your Leslie Williams tag.
Yeah, I'll use my Leslie Williams tag.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and apply the -4.
Well, but I wasn't sure if since I've been Leslie Williams for a while, if the -4 would still count.
Yeah. What I should have done is I should have last session, whenever you rolled that, I should have had you apply your wanted tag or wanted status to it. Because when I was listening back to it, I was like, yes, because she would have had to like, she is wanted. She would have had to like prove herself. So you know what? I guess not, because you have become Leslie Williams. So as you are pretending to be Leslie Williams, like in this space, they believe you because they've seen you around.
Okay. So I'm gonna add my looks harmless, and then my Leslie Williams.
But it doesn't matter. That is a snake eyes. Double ones and +2, so a 4. He looks at you and says, "Well, y'all better get these bad rolls out."
Are you saying something bad's about to come, David?
I'm just saying this is not going well.
The bar explodes.
Yeah. Miss Williams, I appreciate you trying to put a funny spin on this, but we're having our chief come in right now to... Oh, look, here he is. And Faye, walking down the hallway, you see this barrel-chested man, thick red hair, mutton chop, handlebar mustache. You see his name tag says C. Wheatley, and you know this man to be Cooper Wheatley, a no-nonsense kind of a captain of the guard here at City Hall, if such a thing exists. And he marches up to what is going on. What seems to be the matter here? Sir, we have a kind of situation. First of all, one of the at-large criminals, I believe it was Ren Pascal, tried to get in here earlier, and now we have somebody detained inside pretending to be Miss Williams. And Cooper Wheatley looks at you, looks down at your hand. Well, actually, I believe it is Mrs. Wheatley now. Congratulations.
I definitely would have taken that off.
Oh, would you?
Yeah. No, I mean, with all my training, I definitely would.
Okay, wait, what?
Oh, sorry. I did say Mrs. Wheatley. That's his name.
Yeah, I was
That's why I was really confused. I was like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, that would not have been okay. You're my wife now.
How many wives does this guy have?
No, that's not right. Okay. And Cooper Wheatley looks at you, looks you up and down. Miss Williams, why don't you return to your seat? I'm going to get this all sorted out. You stay out here, John. He opens up the door, walks inside, and Faye, if you try to say something to him, he totally ignores you.
Great. Open my mouth multiple times to say something.
Yeah. And so he shuts the door behind him, and Esther, you see, is very large, barrel-chested man, red hair, thick red mustache handlebars, walk into the room. What do we have here?
Did I hear his name when I was in the room?
It's on his name tag, so you see like C. Wheatley.
Oh. So he just waltzed in the room?
And shuts the door behind him.
Well, hi, Mr. Wheatley.
He looks
At
you up
this point, Faye, Esther, I don't even know who I am anymore.
The title of this episode is Identity Crisis. I'm stuck between Identity Crisis and will the real Miss Williams please stand up?
Identity Crisis. Esther is in her head, she's like, realizes that she just changed her accent to the other Leslie Williams accent, and she's like...
And Alec notices and kind of looks at you, but Cooper Wheatley looks you up and down. Good God, you actually believe this was Miss Williams? Well, yeah, she had the
Esther
ID
looks
card.
very indignant at this point. Excuse me?
She had the ID card, sir. And he shakes his head and walks over and leans down and sniffs your hair.
What the hell?
Recently died. He grabs you by the side, or grabs your hair and kind of lifts it up.
Esther yanks her head away.
Red at the roots. And then he walks over to the other side of the table. Much more angular features than Miss Williams' softer face.
Is this guy sleeping with you, Faye?
Did
I
you
believe
say Faye out loud?
what we have here is an imposter. Man, what's your real name?
Katrina Williams.
Roll a sneak around to convince him. He is much more wily than the other security guards.
So do I have a -4?
Yeah, I think so. Because this is your first time meeting him.
Feeling great.
Can I give her my power?
You cannot.
Dang it.
I'm going to use my Leslie Williams tag.
Okay.
So it's -3. door.
No, ma'am, I do not believe you are. In fact, he pulls out a phone and unlocks it and starts scrolling through.
Oh, where's my sister?
And he shows it to Alec, Faye, and I guess Bill too. You hear this? Oh, where is my sister? And he shows it to Alec, and Alec, his eyes go wide. And he says,
Look, this was all just a big joke. We were trying to be funny. Get in here, Leslie.
He turns the phone to you and shows you the picture of Esther Black with her red hair. He says, "You've done quite a job on yourself, Miss Black, but I don't think your real name's Katrina Williams." Alec, why don't you step outside and call the police? Yes, sir, Mr. Wheatley. And he steps out into the hallway. Faye, you see him step out. He starts dialing on his phone. Bill,
Faye reacts before it happens.
Nope. This is Identity Crisis, but I'm not gonna let y'all just swap out tags because everybody's confused.
It would be funny if you did.
So Bill and Faye, are y'all doing anything?
How do I know what's happening? Do I hear him say?
I definitely think
he know?
You definitely heard Esther yelling.
Okay. It's time. We tried the nice way. I don't think Faye should blow her cover. I'm gonna walk out of the closet because it's been longer than I'm comfortable with, and I would expect them to come knock on the door, and I'm gonna walk towards the guards still holding the trash bag, and I'm gonna walk in whistling. What do the guards say?
Alec is typing or dialing up 911 on his phone. He's holding it up to his ear. His back is to you. John his back is to the door. He is facing Faye, and as you are whistling, he turns and looks at you, and he says, "Hey, buddy."
Yes, I don't put the trash bag down though.
Buddy, go somewhere else. We got a situation going on here.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to sound Australian, by the way, now.
Okay.
And I have a situation here too. You slobs just throw whatever you want to in the trash, and I have to come pick it up. So I'm going to take this before things get really gross and you overfill it like you always do, and I end up spilling 4-day-old coffee on my pants.
Buddy, go back to where you came from. I'm going to talk to Jerry and get your ass fired. We got a situation going on here. The trash can wait. He's going to try to grab you by the shirt and push you down the hallway.
Really?
Yes. He's going to try.
All right. Does he put his hand on my shoulder?
He puts it in the middle of your chest and grabs at your shirt.
Do I hear the other person connected to who he's calling yet?
Yes. He says, yeah, we got a situation going on at City Hall. Esther Black and I believe Ren Pascal are here.
All right. And so at that moment, I'm going to shove the trash bag into the one guy's face.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look at the other guy and say, "Hi, I'm Bill." And then I'm going to knock the phone out of his hand and destroy him.
I love it. I believe this is a go toe-to-toe.
All right. I don't think wanted applies here. He doesn't.
It definitely does not.
Because he shouldn't have any power. All right. I've been waiting. This guy's been cruising for a bruising all game. And I'll be his Huckleberry. Risk taker. Basic tattoo weapon. Blunt force trauma.
Oh, no. Oh,
wait, it's
no.
Still hold on. It's still a 6.
It is still a 6, and 6 is a fail. So, Bill, how do you not succeed at this?
Okay. All right, here's how I don't succeed. Turns out it's really exhausting holding back your tattoos for a really long time.
That's true. That's true.
I push the trash bag into the guy's face, and then I go to swing a cudgel at the other person, and I swing and there's no cudgel. So he's just looking at me like, "What?" And I'm looking at my hand like, "What?" And I'm shaking my hand, and then I look up, and now they get a chance to react, to respond.
Yeah, they definitely do. And so Alec like shouts into the phone, "Oh shit, there's another one of them!" And
you see that Faye like climbs under the chairs. She's acting at Leslie and is like hiding under the chairs.
Okay.
Oh, God.
The two guards are going to try to physically subdue you, Bill. So roll a face danger against a subdued 3 status.
Okay.
And you can't use any tags you just use.
I'm gonna use till I collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Float like a butterfly to be evasive, like to push myself back.
Sure.
And I think this would be a great time for me to drop a smoke screen.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think those 3 tags to try to be evasive because I just completely screwed up.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. I like my kit. Pretty dope. So that's, what, 8?
Yeah, that's an 8. So you reduce it by 1. So they're still going to get you with a subdued 2 status, so they still like get a hold of you, but how do you work it in such a way that it's not as like powerful a grip as it could have been?
So the way I work it is I drop the smoke bomb, I try to, like, they would have easily just like completely grappled me like in a bear hug if I hadn't tried to like float away. So they still grab like my sleeves, but I slip out of one of them because I'm wearing coveralls, but they still have the other one. So I'm trying to like get away, but they still have me kind of by the ends of my sleeves.
Sure. So I think like John or Alec, because he's on the phone, like tried to grab at you, and he's the one whose grip you like slip out of. But Alec is trying to get you into a crossbar arm hold and trying to force you to the ground, and so he's kind of stuck struggling. Let's cut back into the
wrestling
room.
grapple.
Yeah. Let's cut back into the room. Before Bill walked up and started this, there was like a minute's time. So Cooper Wheatley leans in, putting both hands on the table, and looks at you. This could be my ticket to commissioner. Oh man, I really bagged a good one now. What you gotta say for yourself, Miss Black? And then at this point, oh God, there's another one of them! And Cooper Wheatley looks back towards the door. Does Esther do anything?
No.
Okay. He looks back at you, and he kind of smirks. Don't go anywhere. He walks to the door and opens it to see Bill locked in this. Well, first of all, smoke billows into the room, and he sees Bill like grappling with this guy.
I'm calling Nimbus.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna try to make a tower shield, so like to come off of my arm and create a wedge so I can like push him off of me.
Okay. I think that's a change the game.
Okay.
So apply your -2 for subdued, and then you get your Nimbus and the tower shield, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a +0 then.
Yeah. Son of a god.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna die.
That is a 4. So you do not succeed. And now that Cooper Wheatley has joined the fight, he is going to slip his arms underneath your arms and like a full Nelson try to suplex you back into the room and slam you down on the ground. Roll against a hurt 3 status.
So I'm gonna use float like a butterfly and stay focused.
Okay. So 5 plus. Oh wait, it's a +0 because it's +2 -2. Okay. So step your subdued status up to a hurt 3 status.
Oh my gosh.
Cooper Wheatley surprises you. He scoops you up, picks you up over his arm and shoulder, and just slams you down into the guard room, and you feel like some bones pop and crack. And Cooper Wheatley kind of laughs. Ha ha! Well, look at here, Miss Black. Another one of your friends.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who Miss Black, what? White, red, what's her, what?
So sticking to the narrative. Okay. Rin, from where you are in the park across the street, in the distance, you hear even more sirens converging on this location.
So I am sitting tight, and I mean, because like even with my laptop, I'd have to be inside, which I couldn't get inside. I'm kind of at a loss of what to do.
Okay, so just kind of, oh dear, this is going very bad.
Yes.
Okay, transition back inside. Esther is denying who she is. Bill, you are laying on the ground with Cooper Wheatley standing in the doorway and 2 guards standing outside in the hallway, one still calling the police, the other reaching for a gun.
I'm going to try to scoot away, and I'm going to yell out, "All right, well, this has been really fun, but I have a bomb strapped to my chest."
Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 60 of Mistconceptions. I'm your host, David White. Welcome to the mid-roll. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. How about that doozy of an episode so far? I mean, what did you really expect? You've been listening to the show for 3 seasons now. You know how these characters be. You know how they do. I wanted to take a little break from the episode just to talk about a few show notes. First of all, I wanted to apologize for Jaime's audio in this episode and last. It's not crisp, it's not clear. As you know, at Misconceptions, we really pride ourselves on having good audio quality. But also, as you know, Jaime is living in Houston. He recently got married, and he and his wife have just moved into their own apartment, which is super exciting. But Jaime has not really had time to really set up his recording setup yet. So, sorry about how it sounded this episode and last, but I promise it will get better if it was bothering you. Speaking of getting better, we have a goal of $400 a month on our Patreon. At this level, I can afford to pay the cast of Misconceptions and the cast of Sins of the Father for the awesome work and effort they bring to each and every episode. I could not ask for a better cast of players, and they knock it out of the park every single episode, and I want to be able to give back to them. At $400 a month, we will be able to afford to do that. If you have been on the fence about giving, maybe this will tickle your wallet. That sounds weird. But anyways, as an incentive, once we reach $400 a month, we are going to celebrate by having a crossover episode between Misconceptions and Sins of the Father. That's right, it's going to be this awesome Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths, Marvel vs. Capcom, Age of Heroes, JLA meets the Avengers, Hellboy meets David Harbour? I don't know. But anyways, it's going to be this sweet crossover episode, but we're only going to be able to do it if we reach that $400 a month level. And let me tell you, both casts of Misconceptions and Sins of the Father are very excited to make this crossover episode happen. It's going to be a huge deal. It's going to be co-DM'd by myself and Jackson, the DM at Sins of the Father. We're super excited to do this, but we can only do it if we get to $400 a month. And speaking of supporting us on Patreon, I would like to give a shout out to Tony Bogus. Tony, thank you so much for supporting us at the level that you have chosen to support us at. It really is going to help us reach that $400 a month goal. And if we could get a few more people like Tony to give at the $1, the $2, the $5 level, that'd be amazing. If you wanted to go to the $20, the $30 level, you out your mind, child. But we'd really appreciate it. I would also just like to say thank you to our patrons who support us each and every month. We thank you so much for your continued support. If you cannot afford to give to us monetarily, we totally understand. We do not judge you for it, but we would still appreciate it if you could help us get the word out about our show. Word of mouth, sharing us on social media, talking to your friends, your family, all that jazz. We'd really appreciate it if you do that. And if you want to help us out on iTunes, you could leave us a rating and review on that platform. And if you screenshot it, copy and paste it and send it to us at misconceptions@gmail.com along with your mailing address. We will send you a Misconceptions decal just for you. We really appreciate it whenever you take time out of your precious day to tell people about us. So if you do that on iTunes, we would like to give back to you to thank you for that. And I also want to say stick around after the end of this episode because we are going to have a geek out during the credits session where we level up characters, talk about this episode, and just have some out of character discussion. But with all that out of the way, let's get back into it.
How does Wheatley respond to that?
Go ahead and roll a convince. Well,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Would it be? Because what convince is you threaten somebody to get you or get them to do something that you want, and if you succeed on the roll, they get a status, and that status is like a threat, basically. Like if you don't let this happen, this is what's going to happen. But you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it would be a sneak around. I think it's a sneak around.
Okay. So I am going to use risk taker good bluff and talk my way out of anything.
Okay.
So I got a +3.
Mm-hmm.
David, are there any cranes nearby?
Oh my
They
God.
are not.
Gosh.
Hey, there you
That's
go.
a 12.
That is a 12. So you say you have a bomb strapped to your chest. Cooper Wheatley kind of stands up more erect. And he believes you. And so do the other two guards.
Is he just like, so he stands up erect,
Yeah, he's
but he's
like
still
freezing.
not doing anything?
Yeah, he's not going to go at
Okay.
Bill knowing there's
So
a bomb
he's
strapped to his
frozen.
chest. Uh-huh.
Well, what are you going to do? He has a bomb strapped to his chest.
All right, let's all calm down. The first thing y'all are gonna do is you're gonna take your guns out and you're gonna put them on the floor.
Does he move to take his gun out?
I think Alec and John immediately like put their guns down.
Does Wheatley?
And Cooper Wheatley like bares his teeth.
Safety,
And he
safety.
unclips it, keeping one hand up, taking the gun out, and tosses it on the ground.
All right, gentlemen. I know you types all too well. I'm gonna need to see your ankles. Could you raise your pant legs up?
John and Alec do, and there's nothing there. But Cooper Wheatley does, and you see a serrated Bowie knife.
All right, you can you can toss that down too.
He takes it out and he just kind of like tears it out of the sheath and throws it on the ground with a clatter. You think you're just gonna walk out of here? The whole police force is on its way. You're the most wanted man in the city. You ain't getting out of here.
Not only do I know I'm gonna walk out of here, but you're gonna be seen as a dumb son of a bitch who let me get away.
He like bristles at that.
All right, y'all go into that janitor closet over there and get real cozy, okay?
John and Alec kind of scoot that way. Cooper Wheatley takes a few steps back onto the hallway.
Well, don't leave me in here.
The both of you aren't getting out of here alive. And then he disappears from view.
All right, Esther, I appreciate the method acting, but I think we just have to go. I don't think they're buying what
I
you're selling.
glare at you. Who are you talking about?
All right, so I'm gonna walk over real quick and make like a little crowbar out of my tattoos and break her handcuffs off.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, all right, we're gonna have to get to the roof immediately. And then I'm gonna like walk over to Faye. I'm gonna be like, so do you think you're gonna make it? And I'm not gonna look down at her in case anyone's looking.
Okay, so you just like step out into the hallway talking, and Cooper
Yeah.
Wheatley is still standing there with his hands up, but not getting into the closet yet. just glaring at you.
Hey, buddy. Unless you want to see this entire floor leveled, I want you to get in there now.
He steps in with a huff. Out of view.
Toodaloo. All right.
You see Faye, like, slightly nod and whimper underneath the chair.
All right.
And down the hallway, Bill, you hear multiple heavy footfalls echoing down the hallway.
I'm going to tell her really quick then. I'm going to put an ad for an antique sofa on Craigslist with no pictures. You'll know it's me. If there's something wrong, email the Craigslist email and we'll get things taken care of. And then I'm going to, all right, Esther, now. And then I'm going to throw a smoke screen in the hallway and we're going to run.
Okay. Bill, go ahead and roll a take the risk.
If we die.
Can I do a help?
Do you have any help points? We haven't spent any this entire season yet.
I do have help points.
How many do you want to spend? And how do you want to help?
I want to spend one. And I want to... I don't know what this needs to look like.
So he is trying to escape. The police are charging down the hall towards you. Maybe you could step out and like squeeze off some shots at the police as he is conjuring the smoke screen and his nimbus cloud to escape. Okay, so you step out into the hallway, pull your gun out of your holster, squeeze off a few shots. The police like duck and dive behind stuff. Bill, you have, how many are you giving him?
I have 2.
You have 2? Do you want to give him all
Bill.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, so you spend those 2. So Bill, you get a +2 plus whatever else you're doing.
So I'm going to use cloud surfing. I'm using smoke screen, float like a butterfly, and stay focused. Nice, 12.
Okay, so you conjure this smoke, and the smoke kind of billows out to either side of you, and we see like the perspective of the policemen, like as this thick black smoke ekes out, and they like raise their rifles and their handguns and like pointing down, and then all of a sudden, shooting out of the cloud, you see Bill, arms outstretched, knees bent, with Esther behind him, just right over their heads. They shoot off some shots that just bury into the walls and missing you, and you book it out that hallway into the lobby. You turn down that hallway that you came from. You see the janitor holding your wig. As you come barreling down, she drops down on the ground as you book it up the stairwell, shoot out of the door into the air, and where are you going?
I'm looking around to see if I see Red anywhere.
You look down at the park as you see like a SWAT van pull up and more patrol cars, and people are spilling out and rushing up the stairs, and you see just a lone bench with a familiar hacktivist sitting on it with his laptop.
All right, we are going to dip down, and I'm going to hook him with my tattoos.
So, swooping out of the sky, you conjure the hooks, hooking Rin uncomfortably underneath the shoulders and wrenching him up. And I think as you do, some of the police and SWAT team members like turn around on the... Like they see you crest over the roof of the city hall, start diving down, and they turn and their bullets tracing in your wake but not connecting. You hook Rin and you 3 sail off. Let's transition.
I think I just got... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I just got a new nemesis.
Yeah. So let's transition inside. Faye. The smoke screen is dissipating. You hear angry shouting, the squawking of walkie-talkies. You hear Cooper Wheatley yelling. And you are tucked underneath the chairs, seemingly forgotten.
Okay, so I come out from under the chairs coughing.
Cooper Wheatley turns around and Alec like runs over to you. Miss Williams, are you okay?
What happened?
Well, we got jumped by 3 of the most wanted people in the city. I guess they were... Oh, God, they must have been here to kill the mayor.
Sorry.
Leslie wipes tears from her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, Miss Williams. How are you?
I think I'm okay.
He helps you to your feet, holding your hand and putting a hand on your shoulder. Leslie, if you need to talk to somebody about this, maybe we could, and Cooper, get out of the way, Alec. And he steps up. Ms. Williams, do you know anything about what happened here just now?
Mr. I don't know. I'm just so confused.
Miss
Mr.
Williams.
Wheatley, are you okay?
I'm fine. Ms. Williams, I suggest you get to your office.
Yes, sir. Could someone escort me? I'm just scared.
Sure. Alec, why don't you do the honors? Yes, sir. Mr. Wheatley. Leslie, this way.
Thank you, Alec.
Okay. He walks you out that hallway, and you see just a cacophony of police officers and SWAT team, and you see the front doors to the city hall are closed. Already, reporters are gathering outside, taking pictures, pressing their camera lens up against the windows to see what's going on. He leads you away from that, down a hallway, up a flight of stairs to the second story. And he says, "Seriously, Leslie, that was some pretty crazy stuff. I'd understand if you just wanted to talk to somebody and unwind for a little bit."
Thank you, Alec. I think I want to be alone.
Sure.
But maybe later.
He bucks up. Well, all right, Miss Williams. And he, gives you a wink, and he, rubs your shoulder. I'll see you around.
Okay. She chuckles, steps into her office.
Actually, as you are turning, you turn to go to your door, and you come, face to face with somebody. And you look up, and you see the face of Pip Hamill looking down at you. And he smiles. "Well, hello, Miss Williams." End of episode.
Oh my god.
OMG.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Misconceptions. We will be back with our next episode on March 2nd. If you have a Facebook or Twitter, we do too. You can give us a follow or a like on both of those platforms to get up-to-date information about the show, behind-the-scenes pictures, or just to chat with us because we'd love to hear from you. If you would like to email us, we can be reached at misconceptionspod@gmail.com. The show is wholly supported by the generous monthly donations of our friends over on Patreon. If you would like to join that elite group of friends to help monetarily support this show, you can click the link down below and give to us that way. Help us reach that $400 a month goal, and we'll be able to record that sweet crossover episode. City of Mist is an RPG created by Son of Oak. You can find more of their products at sonofoak.com. The Misconceptions theme song was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. And don't forget to stick around after this song is done for our Geek Out During the Credits segment. And I would just like to say, keep it nerdy, y'all.
This is a good episode.
He knows.
It was a
good
hot
episode.
mess.
So, let's geek out over that clustercuss of a session. Some takeaways. How is everybody feeling?
We're gonna need to plan very, very hard. And yeah.
The tagline for the season still remains, it didn't go as planned. Like, never has there been a more true statement.
I became a terrorist today.
I was supposed to be dead for like the whole season. It's not going well.
No, you weren't.
I was.
You're supposed to pretend to be dead.
Right.
You know, it would have really sucked if Jesse had shown up at the end.
Yeah.
I would have lost it.
Yeah, so I
would have turned my computer off.
I had some nemesis that I could have thrown, or I had some nemesis that I could have thrown in there, because Rin and Esther both rolled high on their foreshadowing roll, high enough to have their nemesis come in, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work. So Esther is presumed dead. Mm-hmm. That is her nemesis, and Rin has the guilt of what I've done is his nemesis. I could have maybe done something with Rin's.
I feel like mine should have helped me.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
what I was thinking. I was like, well, it wouldn't help her. Like, I see presumed dead, like you try to go somewhere to get something of yours, and it's gone because you're dead. Mm-hmm. So whoever's holding on to it sold it or got rid of it.
Right.
Oh dang.
But I couldn't. I mean, that obviously couldn't work. In this session. But yeah, what else about that session?
I wish I kind of went back and forth before the game, during the photo montage, and I was like, man, I really should. I mean, even before I burned that one tag, the technopathy, I was like, I don't know if I should create a disguise or recover my burnt tags, because I had, before the game anyways, I had 3 burnt tags.
Yeah.
Or 2 burnt tags, I guess.
Yeah, you had 2 and you burnt a third on your only mythos
Yes.
theme.
Yeah, as my Pascal and Associates is pretty much void.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't really think of what to do, and then I realized after everything had happened that I could have used my black wig or my bank juice that I had.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I could have done something, but I kind of like how things have played out. So
Yeah, it was definitely super tense.
yes.
Tessa, what's going through Faye's mind right now?
Faye is very angry. And upset. Faye has lots of feelings right now. She has same 2 feelings at the same time, and that's okay. Go watch Daniel Tiger, everybody. But yeah, so Faye is frustrated with her crew. She understands that they didn't know she was going to be there. She's mad that all of this is going on. She's freaking out that she's not going to be able to maintain her cover. Yeah, so Faye just has a few thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't like C. Wheatley.
You don't like
But I
Wheatley?
do like that he's gonna be seen as the idiot who let me get away. That was nice.
He so fun fact, I'm not going to tell you like much about him, but he's like on page 1 of my little Misconceptions notebook, because he's a character that I've had since, planning. So I'm glad I finally got to introduce him.
I will also say that it is hard to maintain 3 different accents. One
normal
being
voice, Faye's voice,
my normal
and
voice.
Leslie. Yeah.
Yes, and to switch between the 3 of them.
Yes.
I'm a little in over my head.
You're just gonna
So
have to
maybe
have,
you're
like,
wanting your
tokens.
Leslie Williams theme to be burned.
No, I really like Leslie. I just need to practice. Honestly, I forgot that I created Leslie until we started playing today.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, oh, okay. And now we have 2 Leslies.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. 2.0.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure that one's burned. Like, there's no saving
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can remove the Leslie Williams 2.0 tag.
I do like your, what is it? Is it flamingos? What? No. Who is it that sticks their head in the sand?
Ostrich.
Ostrich. I like your ostrich strategy. When he's like, I know you're Esther Black. You're like, blue Esther? Who's this Esther Black, blue, white person you're talking about?
I was really hoping, I wanted to work a line in where it was like, I mean, she's obviously really good because she's been in hiding for this long. Do you really think she would be stupid enough to like come out here with dyed hair, like, and that's gonna make it go away? Like, I was hoping to get to that point and it didn't happen.
Things
You really think the Esther Black would be this dumb?
Whenever she gets around her friends, it seems she would be.
It seems like the play is to take down the mob, and that's probably been the play the whole time. But it's very hard. This is really hard.
Yeah, y'all have a lot of plot threads y'all could explore, and I'm sure you'll make many more for me to keep up with.
Yes, of course.
But
I want to catfish.
How's the MC feeling about things?
good. I came into this session with no planning, which I have never done before. So that was a little stressful, but I found it along the way. Yeah, I think these 2 episodes were good. Very interesting. Your wanted 4 status is gonna make this season really hard for y'all to do much social stuff. Like, you can't just walk into the mayoral debate gala anymore because you're not anonymous.
I will say there was literally nothing harder than sitting back for an entire 2-hour episode while y'all planned this whole thing, knowing that I could have come in as Tessa and stopped it at any point and been like, hey guys, she's gonna go to work, this is a terrible idea.
I appreciate,
but as characters, y'all did not know.
I appreciate your dedication to not metagaming.
Ooh, I'm just kidding. No, it made for a much better episode, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think so many times when y'all do things, y'all succeed, and it is good narratively for you to fail and then see how your characters deal with that failure. I think it'll be interesting to explore what's gonna happen next.
I couldn't use my brute force to get out of this one.
Yeah.
So I had to scream that I have a bomb on my chest.
Yeah. And I think...
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You missed that?
Yeah, that's what he...
It was the only thing that could work. They had guns and everything.
That's why they got in the closet.
Yeah.
I missed the entire combat scene.
So behind the scenes, Tessa's computer crashed.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so we're actually going to have to re-record some of her audio at the beginning of the episode. So basically everything that happened before she crawls out of the from underneath the chairs coughing after the whole fight scene, that was all recorded in post. We haven't recorded it yet, but it will be recorded in post.
Unless they
are you gonna go over?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could try to find like your work file or whatever and see if we can recover it. But otherwise, that is what happened.
Yeah, I had some interactions with the guard, but we'll have to go back and just listen and see where I need to plug stuff in.
Yeah. It'll be easy enough.
But I'm going to keep searching my computer. I was trying to do that, but I also wanted to finish the episode, so I'll do some more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I missed after Faye went underneath the chairs. That's when my computer crashed. So everything from there, and then I came back online when Bill was floating out of the city hall.
Yeah, so you missed a lot of climactic stuff.
Yeah. The worst was that everything was frozen on my screen, but I could still hear Roll20 doing its little beep every time y'all rolled the dice.
Oh.
So I knew that y'all were very engaged in the game.
Yeah, something was happening.
No idea what was happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts, or are we ready to answer the questions?
I want to award some help points. And I want to use Bill.
Okay.
Especially there at the end, like it was down to the two of us to figure our way out of it. And so we worked together as a team. And we did get out of the building at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to award Bill a help point.
Okay.
I feel like my interaction with Bill was so limited to say that I give him a help point, because it was like literally he saved my ass kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of, I don't know, it kind of feels cheap. So I guess the thing that I would say my theme that's under the most strain is Pascal and Associates.
Okay.
Because I am non-existent there and cannot go back to my business.
Okay. So if that theme collapses, what will take its place?
And that's, I've been trying to think of like something futuristic, non-weapon like.
I think, let me check.
Because it would be Mythos, obviously.
Yeah, and I think last time we did this, you put futuristic transportation, flying car, or portal gun. Is there anything you want to like tweak to that, or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. Because both of those are good options. I mean, portal gun would be useful in allowing us to escape. Kind of in the same way that Bill did this session, but obviously with portals. And then I feel like we no longer have a van, or we stopped using it. I can't remember what happened. I think we destroyed it, didn't we?
No, I think Esther still has it. It just didn't come into play, or it hasn't come into play yet.
Yeah. So I guess thinking about a flying car would be kind of like the Star Wars scene with having the taxi on the roof. Would be helpful.
Yeah.
For the crew, since we seem to get ourselves into really special situations.
Okay, so I mean, you're not really adding anything to that. So do you want to answer another question?
I feel like the crew, I mean, and it's grown in a different way, but we have grown. We created a plan without Faye. In an attempt to do something that epically failed.
Yeah.
But I guess the three of us grew together in trying to make a plan without having the one person that usually makes the plan for us.
Yeah. Well, so the way this question goes is your crew theme, or no, your crew identity is we will always have each other. So do you think the crew followed that theme or followed that identity this session? We will always have each other.
I think so, yeah. Because Bill took care, or Bill got fake Leslie and by saying that he had a bomb, saved her, and then he saved me.
Okay. So, we now have 3 attention in your crew theme. So that means we will get a new crew theme improvement, and we can pick that out off mic at a later time. But yeah, I think that is a good use of your geek out. And then Tessa.
I am going to give a help and a hurt point to Esther. So, a hurt point for the obvious. She has ruined my cover. She did a terrible job using my accent. She is, like, dyed her hair to look just like me. So, Faye's real annoyed by all that. But
Thank
then
you.
also a... What?
Thank you.
You're welcome. but then also a help point because they had this really great moment of reading each other's minds, and it didn't work out, but it was still really fun.
Okay.
So, despite all of that, they still are buddies.
All right.
I would like to ask you, David, why did you add another love interest into that scene?
He's not a love interest. He is creepy and stalkerish.
Okay.
He's not meant to be a sympathetic character. He's an idiot.
Well, I know, but he's like obviously interested in Leslie.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how many people is Tessa's character going to be in love with?
Right.
Or in love with her?
I think there's only one. Who else is in love with Faye? Woodard, of course, but who else?
Alec.
That's just two.
That's two.
I feel like there was
only
another
one more
at
than
some
me.
point.
So ask me the question.
Yeah, so you have how has the crew grown this session? What character had the most meaningful interaction with you? And which of your themes is under the most strain? And I know Zach already gave an attention to your crew theme, but another use for that question is that you recover a burnt crew power tag. And currently your crew theme or crew power tag of Linda Hand is burnt. So if you wanted to unburn that, you could answer how has the crew grown this session. But it is up to you. What do you want to do?
Well, I think that one's kind of easy because of the fact that we could not have gotten out of that situation without each other. Right? So like we were forced to lend a hand and learn how to work as a team again because we're so used to just being successful at everything and just depending on our individual like capabilities, and whenever that's not working, then we have to go back to relying on teamwork. And so I think that like because of that, lend a hand can become unburned and become more relevant because we're going to have to rely on each other now. Like it's not easy whenever we have that like wanted for status. So we're going to have to plan better, work together better, and like trust each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Word.
Yeah. So with those questions out of the way, we do have some nemeses that need to be foreshadowed. And I think, Bill, you are rolling for your nemesis of Jesse. Esther, you are rolling for your nemesis of presumed dead. And Rin, you are rolling for your nemesis of the guilt over what you have done. I think it has been one session, two session. So it has been 2 sessions since any of your nemesis or any of your nemeses arrived. So go ahead and roll 2d6 with +2, and you want to roll low.
Okay, I will go first.
Okay. So Rin, you got a 10 plus.
Ugh. So good.
I got a 10.
A 10.
Okay.
Oh, I got a 4. I rolled 2d6 and got a 4.
Okay. +2 is a 6. So yeah, you're good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So next session, Rin, you could have some guilt over what you've done. Esther, something about you being presumed dead could pop up. And Bill, you're good. Jesse's not going to arrive next session. But also, we will be picking out a new crew theme power tag. We'll be seeing what happens to the crew after their failed attempt to get into City Hall. But yeah, that is where we will leave this session.
And we're going to figure out how to not have our computers crash.
Yay for not crashing computers.